All right. Well, sorry for the late notice, last minute thing, but Instagram is here, So let's recap some of the stuff that happened last week. Start with football. The Army Navy game. I won that pick over my buddy Max, and I am the league champion once again for that, like me and Max's picks. So three-peat. I won in 2022 season, last season, and now this season. So yeah, finished with like 8 games ahead of him or something, or not, no, 10 or something. Yeah, I really did well. I really kicked his ass by 9 games. So not as bad. It was a lot closer than the other 2 years. So I did good on that. And also some bowl picks I did well. Like I did kind of decent. I'm not doing the hottest right now, but it's early. There's still a lot more bowl games, obviously. So Jackson State won the Celebration Bowl over South Carolina State. I took South Carolina State. I lost that pick. The other bowl game I was on was the later one, and South Alabama won the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Over Western Michigan, I won that pick. I took South Alabama. And Tuesday night, I took West Virginia for the upset. I thought they were, but they just lost. It was a good game the last night, folks. It was a high-scoring game, but it was a crazy ending. West Virginia throws an interception. They thought the Memphis defender fumbled it, and West Virginia had the ball back, but still, like, none of it overturned it. So, like, they pretty much reviewed it and said it was, like, no fumble. So, pretty much West Virginia lost to Memphis, because of that craziness. It was a good game, though, last night in that one. And just moments ago, before the second bowl game started, James Madison won the Boca Raton Bowl by beating Western Kentucky by 10 points. So that's the first bowl win in James Madison's program history. So JMU, congratulations there. So I won that pick. So I am 2-2 right now so far. And the current game that's going on, is UNLV. OHNO, go Tennessee. I'm just kidding, Jake. I'm just kidding, my boy. I'm just kidding. Like it's funny. Just a trash talk. But I got UNLV beating Cal in the LA Bowl, which is hosted by Rob Gronkowski, one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. That's currently at SoFi Stadium, home of the Rams and the Chargers. That's what's going on right now. So I got UNLV beating Cal because UNLV just had such a great year. They're competitive. The 10-win season. And Cal, Cal's from the ACC. I get Cal Berkeley. Yeah, that's Aaron Rodgers' alma mater. But I like UNLV in this one. That's why I like in this bowl game right now. Like, there's tomorrow's bowl game. It is the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. It is. I'll tell you, George Sutter's been here before, but I got to go Sam Houston. I don't know why. I think their program's rising in this one. I got to go with Sam Houston. That's tomorrow. That's the only bowl game on tomorrow night. That'll be on ESPN2. And there's 2 bowl games on Friday, and there's a college football playoff. Here we go. So Friday's one should be a good one. Ohio Bobcats. They won the MAC. While, it's a tough pick because they have seasons. The Ohio Bobcats, Ohio University really had a good year. But I got to go Jacksonville State. I just think their program's really doing really well. They really are doing really good right now. It was a tough one, but I like the Jacksonville State game to win that one. So give me them. It is the Tulane. They're not as good. I see the Buckeyes. But yeah, I got the Gators over Tulane. But the thing is, Tulane got beat by Virginia Tech last year in the Military Bowl. And they're not going to be no match for the Florida Gators, I'll tell you that. They're no match for them. So give me the Gators all day. The college football playoff matchups. So this week starts the college football playoffs. This is the first round of it. A little more, like during New Year's and all that in January. So we got some. It's going to be good, really good. It's the first ever 12-team playoff format. Here's the first matchup because the first round will be played on campus sites. It is the number 10 seed, the Indiana Hoosiers, who finished 11-1. Really surprising season. No one saw it coming because they last year had like 3 or 4 win season. They really had a bad year. Really, Kirk and Jimmy in his first year after leaving James Madison, just a tremendous job. We'll take on the number 7 seed, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame hosting this game in South Bend. This one, there'll be 2 appearances for college game. It'll be in South Bend Friday, and then Saturday it'll be in Columbus or Austin. Yeah, it'll be one of those spots. So it'll be 2 locations this week for college game day. So, but in this one, it's a tough one. But I mean, I can't underestimate this Indiana team. But they did lose to Ohio State. Like they weren't even competitive. So I got to go Notre Dame. Notre Dame's playing really good football. They've won 10 or 11 straight games. I mean, they pretty much won 10 straight games. Like they lost to Northern Illinois, and all of a sudden they bounced back. They really got hot. So I got to go Notre Dame, especially because it's in South Bend too. So I like them in this one. Here's Saturday's games in the college football playoffs too. Starting at noon, it's on TNT. Of course, Indiana and Notre Dame's going to be Friday night on 8 o'clock on ABC. But here's Saturday. There'll be 2 games on TNT, 1 on ABC. So at noon, it is SMU, the number 11 seed, representing the ACC. AC championship runner-up. So they'll be heading to Happy Valley, like in State College, PA, to take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. So Penn State gets a home game. This will be a whiteout game, just like the regular season. So that place is going to be rocking for the playoffs. This one's a very tough pick. Not really, because I can't underestimate some of these teams. SMU, I think, is good, but they can't compete with Penn State in this one. So I got to go with the Nittany Lions this one. That's because it's in Penn State. 4 o'clock for Saturday on TNT as well. This is the number 12 seed, the AC champion, Clemson Tigers. We won the ACC this year. The Clemson Tigers, surprisingly. I mean, they had some struggles at times, but they are a good team. That could be a struggle. But they're heading to Austin, Texas, take on the Texas Longhorns. That should be a tough one, I tell you, for Clemson, especially going into Austin. So that'll be good. But I got to go Texas, a 5 seed, obviously, for sure. The Texas Longhorns host this one. So who else have I got now? Like in the last playoff game, to wrap up round 1. This is the best game of the week, I feel like. Like other than Notre Dame, Indiana, this is really the biggest one. I feel like the 9th seed, the Tennessee Volunteers, taking on the 8th seed, and who'll be hosting this game in Columbus, where College game will be as well for Saturday. It'll be the Ohio State Buckeyes. So this is an interesting matchup. This could be a lot of defense, I expect. This is the key I put in that one. It's gonna be a lot of defense. This one, decent QB play. I think it's. But the thing is, it's gonna be cold in Columbus. It's going to be cold at Ohio State for sure. Tennessee doesn't have to travel that far. It's not that far of a drive for them, but still, at the end of the day, it's going to come out who has a better defense. I feel like who has a better quarterback. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up because Will Howard was good for Ohio State. The Kansas State transfer. He came from Kansas State, transferred from there. Tennessee, obviously, Nico Amulava. He's okay. Amulava's pretty good, but this one's a very hard one for me because, SEC, Big Ten, these are 2 of the best conferences in college football this year, easily. I feel like Ohio State's going to be testing this one, but I'm going to go with Tennessee Volunteers. I'm going to go with the Vols. No, it's no disrespect for Ohio State. I just think Tennessee looks better. They got the better defense, the better conference of competition and all that. Ohio State's got good competition too. The way, Oregon and Penn State and all that. But I don't know. I just feel like if Ohio State wins this, Ryan Day is going to keep his job. If Ohio State loses, I think it's time to move on from their head coach. If Ohio State, honestly. So really, a lot of pressure on winner of this plays Oregon. So I gotta go Tennessee. It's a tough one. It's such a tough pick, but I like Tennessee. Now, the Monday, 2 days before Christmas, there'll be 2 bowl games before Monday pick. Because they're both like 1-7-5, the other 1-6-6. Northern Illinois is 7-5, and of course Fresno State 6-6. So I gotta go Northern Illinois Huskies. I gotta go with them. I like them this one. Best pick this week, and hope everyone's enjoying the college football playoffs this weekend. But yeah, now before we get in the NFL, let's talk about how bad the Buffalo Sabres are right now. Like this franchise is in trouble, folks. As much as I love my Sabres, but I'm just telling you, this is one of the roughest stretches in a long time. Since the the COVID season, like Reinhardt and all that. It's just a bad place right now. This organization's just rough right now. 11 straight losses now. They lost again last night. They lost Sunday. They lost Saturday too. Like this is not a good time. I'm still gonna go to games and root for them, but just like it's frustrating because the last time they made the playoffs, I was a 10-year-old kid. 13 years has been. Probably gonna be 14. The drought continue. Maybe I'm trying to stay positive, but it's not easy right now. The way this organization's been. It's run by a terrible general manager in Kevin Adams, and the Pagula's a good. I feels like he's decent with his ownership of the Bills for some reason. But the thing is, a lot of it has to do with how great Brandon Beane has done for the Bills and Sean McDermott. It's the players and that too. It's like, but still, it's the Sabres. It just they can't find ways to win hockey games. Like these guys, it can't. You can't blame it on the GM. It's the players got to step up their game. They got to start playing better hockey. That's all I got to say. But at least we got one. At least got the Bills are doing well. But the Bonnies, God, it's a great time to be a St. Bonaventure Bonnies fan. I tell you, man. I mean, I've seen a lot of success. Like NCAA tournament appearances. Getting all the way to the NIT Final Four. This year they're 11-1 for the first time in like over 50 years. So this is really history making so far. And all I got is Niagara to finish off, non-conference for this Saturday, which I'll be at the game at the Raleigh Center. So yeah, I got the Bonnies win this one because Niagara's up and down there. Bonnies should win this one, especially gets at home. They're gonna finish strong. They're gonna finish 12-1, I think, before they start A-10 play. All right, let's talk about MSP. I did a good week. All right, so let's get into this. This week. Last week, good here. I finished with a +5. This is MSP. So the Thursday night game last week, the LA Rams beat the 49ers in a like a field goal fest kind of game. So I won that pick. And the spread, of course, the spread was 2.5 favored by the 49ers. So I did well. I figured the Rams were playing good. They're playing the best. Like they're peaking at the right time. I was going to win that pick. The Commanders Saints one. That was I thought the Commanders were going to cover for sure, but they just blew it like late in the game. Like they still won by 8 points or more. It looked like they're like okay, I have a chance. Then also, like I do what for some reason Instagram Rick does one of these toilet bowl games on MSP. So the Jets and Jaguars one, I knew that I was going to cover that one. It was looking nervous when I saw this, kept looking at the score, but Rodgers and Davante Adams had a good game, especially in the second half. So Jets beat the Jaguars. That Bengals Titans one, I kind of feel I was going to win that one still because. Of course, this was the biggest spread in MSP last week in Week 15, and I really did well in that one. Risky move, but at the same time, it's like it's Giants. This one, I thought I had a chance to win. I thought because the Chiefs are just always, always just finding ways to not cover the spread, even when it's a bad team. Just somehow they actually did well this week. Their defense really looked dominant. Jameis Winston just doing Jameis Winston type things, getting picked off so many times. Like they had Browns had 6 turnovers. They turned the ball over 6 times. That's pretty bad. And they made a QB change this week, which we'll get into shortly. The Cowboys and the Panthers. I can't believe I took Carolina. Thing is, Instagram can't be perfect, but don't get me wrong. But just like I just thought for sure the Panthers were going to win because they've been playing so much better. And the Cowboys actually looked good for once. But thing is, that game was so tough one. The Steelers one, I thought Steelers would be competitive, like at least keep it a 1-score game. Got that one wrong. But my pick of the week hit as usual. Taking the Buffalo Bills as underdogs. My Buffalo Bills got the W, baby, last week. It was a high-scoring game. I'm concerned about the Bills' defense right now. Like the points they get. They get 40-plus points. Other than that, the Bills' offense looks amazing. So like that when I took Colts, I thought, well. But I did finish, I did get hot, like the Sunday night and the Monday night games. Took in the Green Bay Packers to cover the spread of the Seahawks. I knew the Seahawks weren't that great. I knew they were going to get their ass kicked, honestly. And the Vikings made it look easy on the Bears. That was a good pick. And somehow the Falcons covered for me in the low-scoring game. I finished with a +5. Let's look at the standings, what it looks like right now. And obviously, McTastic's one of my nicknames, like my friends call me. But your boy Instagram Mick is in the league, right? 134 wins and 90. And I'm 13 points behind the guy that's ahead of me. Yours Barry McCockner, that's my cousin Nick, who's in 4th place. He's getting hot at the right time, like in my dad's fiance, Jill, who's Jello Doc, in 5th place. Like she had a pretty good week. War Pigs, which is my dad. He won the week actually for the tiebreaker. He really did well. Jaws had won 1 week, but still, Timmy won because of the tiebreaker. My dad won because of the tiebreaker this week. This week. Uncle Chris, Highway Man is 16th place. If you finish top 20 in MSP, you make the playoffs. But it's down to the last 3 weeks of this regular season. I'm interested to see who gets in, but he's hanging on right now. He's in a good spot, plus 20 right now so far, but 20 points, so he's doing well. Uncle Mike's starting to hang in the mix, same as Big Rippers, which is my cousin Evan Rippers, who's a subscriber to Instant Rick. Mike was there, Jordan. He's 23rd, so they're a point ahead of Big Rippers. So it's be interesting to see what the rest of the playoffs. Let's get in our Week 16 picks on MSP. Let's start with tomorrow's game. Thursday Night Football is the Denver Broncos at the LA Chargers. The spread is 2.5 favored by the Chargers, and I'm going to take the Broncos in this one. That's what I like in this one. And now we got Saturday doubleheader. 1 o'clock game on NBC. It is the Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. The surprise, there's some little like Tuesday. I always put the lines in. 2.5 favored by the Texans. It's reason why it's the favorites is because of the Mahomes injury right now. So it's a tough pick. I mean, especially if Mahomes is going to play or not. So I'm going to go with Texans to cover. Not only that, just because I think the Chiefs are due for a loss. I just think like CJ Stroud is good. Like good. But this thing is that Chiefs defense could give him problems. But if Mahomes is not going to play and Carson Wentz going to start, the Chiefs are in big trouble Saturday. I really think in that one. So I go with Texans that one. In the 4:30 game on Fox, Saturday doubleheader, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. So Steelers win, they'll be AFC North champs. But if the Ravens win, they clinch a playoff. Ravens will clinch a playoff spot because Steelers are a playoff spot. It could come down to week 18 depending on their games go or divisional standings. But Steelers win, they're in. They win the AFC North. Ravens win, they're in the playoffs. So something's going to get clinched, whether it's a division title or a playoff spot. We're going to see in that one. But spread is 5.5 fair by the Ravens. It's a big. I mean, I should have learned my lesson last week, but I just think I'm taking the Steelers. I just think because Watt has a chance to come back, he might play. And same with Pickens. I think Pickens could return possibly this week. And I don't know. I just can't trust this Ravens team. They're good. It's just like for some reason, they're kind of a up and down. I mean, they're 9-5. They're doing me wrong. They're really actually the Steelers because last time the Steelers covered. Maybe they did well. They didn't even score a touchdown and beat the Ravens. So I like the Steelers in this one. For some reason, they've had Baltimore's number. Lamar always struggles against the Steelers team. Now the Sunday's games for the 1 o'clock games is the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. Cleveland's pretty much out of it. Bengals still has a slim chance to make the playoffs still. They just need a win and a lot of help for sure. They just want to win out these rest of the games, a lot of help for sure. So 6.5 favored by the Bengals. This is at home in Cincinnati, so I like the Bengals in that one. I like Cincy in that one for sure. Next, you got the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. Entering division match, of course, Lions come out their first loss since week 2. That 11-game winning streak came to an end by the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, the Bears got their ass totally kicked Monday night against the Vikings. I'm going to take the Lions. I mean, they're going to be mad. They're just going to just really pound the shit out of the Bears. So I like the Lions in that one. Next, you got the Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. Should be a good matchup. I mean, decent matchup for the Cardinals because Cardinals still have a chance at the division, even though like this is a non-division game, but doing well against your confidence is pretty big. Spread's 2.5 favored by the Cardinals on the road. Done better picking them, but the Cardinals this week still got something to play for. Hit the division and a chance for a playoff, so like I got them in this one. This one's probably the best of the 1 o'clock games. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. Spread is 3.5 favored by the Eagles on the road. Of course, if the Eagles win, they are the NFC East champs. They win their division, the NFC East. Washington pretty much hanging on that 7th seed. So I'm going to take Washington at pick of the week. Some will say this is kind of a risky pick of the week. I just don't know. It's hard. I mean, Eagles covered last week, but it's just sometimes the Eagles are just like the spreads. Especially that Panthers game. Like, and I think of the Jaguars game. The Jaguars game. I picked the Eagles to cover pretty easy. I thought, they're going to pull out the Jaguars, and they just struggle with the bad teams. The thing is, they will not win by 4. So I'll take the Washington Commanders at pick of the week. The New York Giants at the Atlanta Falcons. Nothing much to talk about on this one. Like Giants are just tanking for that first pick, just like the Raiders are doing. The Atlanta Falcons, 9.5 favorites. They are starting Michael Penix this week. They have benched Kirk Cousins. So this one's a tough pick for sure. But I like the Falcons because they'll cover. It's the Giants they're playing. I'm interested in what the rookie does, but I think Falcons should win this one. That Giants team just a mess right now. Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. Mason Rudolph is going to start for the Titans. They benched Will Levis. They bring back, Mason Rudolph. Having quarterback issues still. They're just having a bad year. We know the Colts still have a chance, but not really in the playoffs at this point. And they're favored at home, so they're 3.5 favorites, so I got to go take the Colts in that one. Last of the 1 o'clock picks, the LA Rams and New York Jets. The Jets are kind of, they've won last week because they played the Jaguars. They're playing better, but LA Rams got to make the long trip from LA all the way to the Meadowlands. But I think Rams cover. Rams are really playing good right now. They look like they're getting hot at the right time. That offense is looking good, especially when I saw they did the Bills. Last week they had a field goal fest, but they beat the 49ers. So I think Rams are going to win this one. Keep this momentum going. So I like the Rams in this one. And next, the Minnesota Vikings. The 4:05 game on Fox is the Minnesota Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks. This one's a tough pick. I had a hard time. Originally, I was going to go with Seattle, but I'm thinking with Geno Smith's injury, so now I switched my pick from the Seahawks to the Vikings. Vikings will cover the spread, I think. I just don't know. I think Seattle's just so beat up. They're still a decent team, but we just don't know if Geno's even going to play. And, of course, Kenneth Walker's been out with injury too. Charbonnet is a good running back. It's just you just don't know what you're going to see out of it. So I got to go Minnesota. They're really playing some good football right now. And this was originally supposed to be a 1 o'clock game. The Patriots at the Bills. Now it's 4:25 televised game on CBS. So my Bills, the New England Patriots, it's a 13.5 favorite. It's one of the biggest spreads of the week, along with the Monday night game, which we'll get to shortly. Bills really control their destiny of possibly getting the 1 seed. Because all I got left is the Patriots, at home like this week, and then next week hosting the Jets, and then finish the season at New England. Meanwhile, the Chiefs got a tougher road to try to clinch it. So I don't know how the rest of the season could play out for the Bills, but I think the Bills will cover this one. They should beat the shit out of the Patriots. Drake May is going to have a hard time with that Bills defense. Bills defense has been struggling lately the last 2 weeks because they've had to put good offenses. I think they'll get back on track this week. And Josh Allen really solidified his campaign for the MVP. He's definitely winning MVP. Seriously. If he doesn't win MVP, I think it's highway robbery. Not because I'm saying I'm a Bills fan. I just think he really proved himself this year. Probably one of the best numbers in his NFL career. Better than the 2020 season. So I got the Bills covering that one. And the other 4:25 game that's on CBS as well is the San Francisco 49ers at the Miami Dolphins. Both 6-8 teams. Just barely, just pretty much out of the playoff race kind of, but also just still trying to hang in there mathematically. That's a tough pick because the 49ers are so beat up right now. So I got to go Miami Dolphins. That gets at home. They'll cover 1.5. And this one's a who gives a shit bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to be both teams terrible. This is a tough one to pick, honestly. But Instigator Mick likes the Jaguars. The spread. So I like Jacksonville this one. Sunday Night Football. We got Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Dallas Cowboys. So Tampa Bay right now leading the NFC South, but they're just leading the Falcons by a game ahead. If they both end up with the same records when the regular season's over, Falcons win the tiebreaker because the Falcons swept the Bucs this season. That NFC South. So that'll be interesting how that goes. So the Bucs are 3.5 favorites on the road in Jerry World. So I'm gonna take the Buccaneers. They are just playing some really good football. That's actually what they did to the Chargers. I like Tampa Bay to win Jerry World on Sunday Night Football for sure. And last but not least, Monday Night Football this week. The New Orleans Saints at the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be a cold one for sure for the Saints. I mean, tell you, 13.5 is a big spread, like the Bills game, but I feel confident in the Packers, especially what they did to Seattle last week, but also just the Saints team is like, they're going to have a hard time this Packers D, I'll tell you that right now. The Saints offense, I mean, Alvin Kamara's a good running back. It's just like their quarterback, like Spencer Rattler's probably going to be starting, maybe Jay Kaner, but they're going to have a hard time. It's a mess. So they just been a mess this year. So I gotta go Green Bay, especially because Green Bay wins this. They are pretty much in the playoffs. They'll clinch playoff spot. So I like them in this one. And those are your picks. For MSP this week. Be those with you guys. So I will see you all next week. Enjoy your football weekend, folks, in the college football playoffs as well.